Hello, everybody. Oh, excuse me. Happy New Year. I know it's February 1st, but when I recorded this, it was January still. So I still feel like there was a Happy New Year sentiment that applied. Um, I decided to do a voiceover for this video because I still have it, but I had a bit of a head cold and chest cold, and the coughing and the sniffling was just gross. So, anyways, here we are. So, I thought I'd take you along for my journey of trying to stamp again. It has been a majillion years, and I am needing to make some thank you cards for people that have donated to my kitty cat. If you don't know, back in November, I found a cute little kitten on the side of the road, and I took her in, not expecting to keep her, and ended up falling in love with her, and it has been quite the journey. She has not been well since I got her. She's not like dying or anything, but she's not been well, and we can't really figure out what is going on with her. So I have taken her to countless vet appointments. This last one was last week. I took her to the neurologist, and the neurologist did a bunch of tests. Most of them came back normal, but unfortunately, my poor Wednesday her test results came back that she actually does have valley fever. So we are waiting for some medicine to treat that. She's currently on a steroid, so she's getting a little bit better. My hand movements make no sense in this clip because, again, I was talking while I filmed it. But anyways, here is my cute little girl, just so you can see her. She is about 7 months old, and she's currently in heat right now on top of everything else, and it's driving me insane. So anyways, this is what we're going to try and do. We're going to try and stamp, and as you're going to see, it doesn't go well at first. It's been a really long time since I've made anything, and I'm a little rusty. Although at the end, you'll see what I ended up with, and I have been working on them. What normally would have taken me just an hour to do, maybe not even that long, has taken me days, but that's okay. I'm getting into the swing of it, and I'm actually enjoying it. This year's been it's been rough creatively for me. God, I can't talk. Creatively for me, and I haven't really been doing much. I've been doing a lot of journaling, like reflection type stuff, just because I've been really stressed out and with the kitty cat. But the whole point of making these cards is that her healthcare has been incredibly expensive. This was not a bill that I had anticipated taking on. I was going to try to find a shelter or a foster home for her, but none of those came through. So I ended up just keeping her. She's my little furry bestie now. But we have gone to countless vet appointments, ER visits. She's been on medication basically since I found her. She's had a very extreme head tilt, and we're just trying to figure out what's going on. And I'm thinking that it is probably the valley fever because once that infection gets into like really deep, like into your bones, like if you don't know what valley fever is, look it up. It's very common in the desert, especially in Arizona, for humans and animals. It's not contagious. It's my understanding it's a spore that embeds itself into your lungs. But it causes an infection and it's a fungal infection. So she's on steroids, which means she needs to be on antibiotics. And then she also needs to be on the antifungal. The compounding pharmacy doesn't have all of the medications right now, so we are still waiting. But anyways, I had reached out on my TikTok, and if you want to see her whole story, I'll leave my TikTok in the description. But I had reached out to TikTok and friends at work and Facebook, just begging for help and for donations, anything they could. And I appreciate it so much because her vet bills are ridiculous. I've already spent close to $3,000, and if she does need to have an MRI, that's going to be another $4,000. So it's pretty expensive for a street kitty. But I wanted to make thank you cards for everybody that has either donated money or a gift or a treat or just their time. Like I had to go away for a few days for my job, and I had lovely people in my life come taking turns checking in on her 3, 4, 5 times a day because I'm a paranoid pet parent. So I wanted to make some thank you cards. So I saw these Aall Create stamps at my local scrapbook store, and I remembered that I had a credit there, a very large credit. So I went to grab them and a couple other things. I used to shop there quite a bit last year, and they always do like these little specials. And then if you spend a certain amount of money, then you get money off. And anyways, I had a credit, so I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go get these because I think this will be fun for thank you cards. And while I was there, I realized I don't have a whole lot of ink pads other than the distress inks and the distressed oxides, and those don't really work for this purpose. Well, I mean, you can make them work, but I wanted to get some new stamps. So I picked those up, and then I picked up some washi tape. I'm on a no buy this year because honestly, I can't afford to buy anything, but because I had credit, I was like, you know what, why not? I'll pick up some stuff and it'll make me feel better, and then it'll give me hopefully some inspiration to start making some new things, and then hopefully generating some income from that to help pay for my poor animals' health care. So I got these washi tapes, and they are, I don't know what, oh, they are Elizabeth Craft Designs. And it came with 6 different rolls for, I think I used a, yeah, $10, $11 credit on this. And they're really pretty, and I think these will be fun. Just as my styles evolved, I've become way more into mixed media, and I think that these are going to be good for some mixed media projects. Um, so anyways, these Aall Create stamps, beautiful, expensive, but beautiful. But one of the problems I have with them, and if you've used these and you have a solution, those stamps are incredibly sticky. They're very high quality polymer. I'm pretty sure it's polymer. But man, they're sticky, and I have a primer you're going to see here in a second. I pull out my Aall Create primer to rub off on the stamp to try and get that film off. And it really, the primer, it's an eraser. That's all it is. And it doesn't really do much of anything. These are just incredibly sticky stamps. But if you have any tips or tricks on how to get them less sticky on the ink side, I would greatly appreciate you leaving me a comment below. So that one stamp of the cat sitting on her hind legs was the one that drew my attention, and I got some major inspiration from it. You're going to see in a minute that that inspiration didn't pan out the way that I had hoped it would. So I'm just going to go ahead and put in some music here and speed this up so you don't have to listen to me babble too much longer. So hold on one second. So as you can see here, my ink pad, my beloved ink pad, came apart. The ink pad came off of the base and created a giant mess. I'm sure I can probably glue it on. I don't know if it'll dry because it is a wet ink pad, so I did have to run back out and grab a new black ink pad, which, as you'll see in a minute, I didn't even end up using. But clearly, I am struggling with this design. It is not turning out at all like I thought it was going to in my head. So I just grabbed a separate ink pad just to kind of get something done to see if I even liked it before I left the house and tried to go find another ink pad. Um, it turned out okay. I ended up getting a fingerprint on it, but I ended up not going with this design at the end of it anyways. So you'll see here pretty soon what I end up going with. So as you can see here, I had to go back to the store. Thank God I had a huge credit there. I was able to pick up another Midnight Black Catherine Pooler ink pad, which I was so grateful for because that is the one that they always run out of. But while I was there, I was kind of blindsided by some inspiration I didn't see the first time I went. Um, and I decided to scrap that idea of the watercolor card with the splatters and the cat on the front. Even though that's way more my style, I decided to scrap that idea and go with something else. After all, gotta use those credits, right? Um, so anyways, I saw this washi tape set from 49 in Market, and I was like, oh, that's really pretty. What could I do with that? I don't really have a whole lot of wide washi tape. And the wide one is the one that caught my eye. I looked to see if they had it by itself, but they didn't. So anyways, I did grab it, and obviously I didn't know how this little container worked. This is way too fancy for me. I guess it goes on the edge. That's just me trying to figure out if you're supposed to keep these in the box or not. I don't keep my washi tape in boxes. I store it by color, but anyways. So anyways, I saw that washi tape and I was like, oh, I have an idea. I still wanted to incorporate some splatters, but I thought that more mixed media style would be just prettier. And then of course, in that same section, they had some acetate pieces, and I wanted to get a matching ink pad color to match like the greens in it because I knew I was using like a sage green cardstock. But they had these eucalyptus acetate leaves, and I mean, it's been so long since I've had inspiration hit me like this that it literally just hit me, and I went with it. I did spend all of my credit, unfortunately, which I was hoping to kind of make last throughout the year. But it didn't happen, so here we are. But I got it for a good cause, right? So anyways, I'm going to go ahead and go back to some music so you don't have to keep listening to me babble. Of course, the minute I start recording this last half, my cat starts her banshee call in the background. She's in heat, so I'm really sorry if she's loud. Anyways, you'll see at the end, I didn't end up with a finished product. I mean, I did post picture of the finished cards that I made. I did them in two different color schemes at the end. Uh, I clearly have not stamped or cut cardstock in a long time because I had cut my card base way too big. Yes, Wednesday. She's trying to climb up the back of my chair. So anyways, you'll see here in a second what I ended up with, and I really like the way they turned out. I think they're really pretty. So these are going to be thank you cards for everybody that's donated. I have way more followers on my Instagram and I mean, I don't have a lot of followers here on YouTube. Hopefully that'll change this year because I do plan, she's so loud, plan on making more content. But I do want to ask if you feel like you want to donate. I'll put my Venmo at the end and in the description box. Even $1, anything helps. I'm going broke trying to save this poor kitty, and I know the cat community is absolutely amazing. They have stepped up in ways that I can't even imagine. So I appreciate everybody's support. Even if you just want to share my YouTube with other creatives that you think might like it, I would absolutely love that. Until next time, and I will keep you guys updated on Wednesday's progress.